Welcome, guys, to episode 3 of 10 Talks. And what did we name this episode?
New Year, New Us? What was
I named this something else. Oh, first episode
of the year.
Yeah, so first episode of 2021.
So cheers to...
The first episode of 2021.
Yeah, let's
Cheers.
do it. Cheers.
Let's go. That was pretty good.
Not bad. Not too shabby.
That was a good chaser. Oh, God. There's certain chasers that'll just make the vodka taste like rubbing alcohol instead of just like alcohol.
Like, you can't just do it with juice. You have to have the soda.
Yeah.
Sprite is probably the best.
That Perrier is probably not the best chaser, though. I'll say that.
I didn't mind it. No
All right.
sugar.
Oh, wait. I should put on my headphones. First thing I feel like I should announce is the fact that we've returned back to the webcam, to my old streaming webcam. And this webcam, to be honest, it actually is really good quality if it's like this close to you.
Yeah, it is good quality.
If it's super close to you and you're like the main thing, it'll blur the background and it'll make it look super nice. But when it has to like capture one whole scene with a bunch of shit, like it starts getting like, it doesn't look that great or whatever, and also needs like hella light. So basically I couldn't figure out the DSLR thing. I couldn't figure out how to get either of our cameras to work, and it was so frustrating. I was throwing a tantrum. I got Rylee really mad at me because I was just going crazy because I was so mad I couldn't figure it out. And then I was just like, okay,
I was like, you need to stop stressing. We could use the webcam. It's not going to be that big of a deal.
Honestly, no one even said anything about the webcam other than Josh. Josh is the only one who's like, oh, what is this quality? I don't want to watch this because the quality's so bad.
Well, eventually it's going to get better, but
yeah,
we just have little like hiccups here and there. So.
I think I need to, get on a FaceTime call or like a call with Space Ghost Dog Perp or like some other person who like knows a little bit more, or even might have like some more additional knowledge on this shit, because I can't figure it out. And what's even
the
more
problem is that we start trying to work on it at like noon, the day of the podcast.
Yeah, well, who stayed in bed all day today?
You did.
I was trying to get out of bed.
You're such a liar.
And you were staying in there. You know what's funny? Yesterday we had Lucha and Peach over for like dinner. Basically, Rylee made us spaghetti dinner, and it was super delicious. And what's funny is like they have like a little bit opposite dynamic where you like to wake up early and I like to sleep in, and then Peach likes to sleep in and Lucha likes to wake up early. And I thought that was so funny that they have like a switch dynamic thing. Well, that just shows that opposites attract.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's like you think like in the beginning you think like, oh, we have so much things in common, but then you start realizing like, oh,
no,
we're completely opposite on some certain parts.
But it makes it interesting. You teach me things and I teach you things.
Well, I teach you how to sleep in.
Yes, and not to worry about like just to chill sometimes. Not every day, but
I need to teach myself that. I feel like after today I was so stressed after the camera thing.
Yeah, that's why I told you. I was like, stop stressing. We could use the webcam. Like,
do you know, honestly, the reason why I was so stressed over not being able to set up the webcam is because this same program, I used to use it all the time. And I remember like 3 years ago or 2 years ago when I installed this program, which is called EOS Rebel Camera Utility or something like that, or Webcam Utility. I remember like 2 or 3 years ago when I first installed it, I was having so many issues with it. And at my parents' house, I was doing the same thing, like throwing a temper tantrum, like getting so pissed off because I couldn't get it to work. Finally got it to work, and then I'm stuck in the same shoes again where I can't get it to work, and I'm like pissed off, and I don't even know, dude. It's so frustrating. All
together, it's okay. We're not stressing in 2021.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I wanted to repost it, but Desto Dub made this story where he's like, oops, sorry guys. He's like, man, he's like, everyone, he's like, last year everyone was like 2020, this is my year, blah 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 or whatever, and he's like, y'all jinxed everything, and he's like, can everyone just shut the fuck up and chill and let's just see how this year goes, because everyone's out there saying, oh, 2021's the new year, it's like it's gonna fix everything from last year. He's like, you're gonna jinx it. He's like,
I know.
He's like, don't say anything, let's just let this year go and see what happens or whatever.
I know, that's honestly what I fear, because 2020 I was like, this I feel in my gut, like it's gonna be the best year ever, which in a lot of cases it was one of the best years too, because I met you, we got Lola, we got our own place.
We got Lola.
I was literally crying like 10 minutes before this podcast because I just was looking at our cat, loving her so much.
Are you pregnant?
No.
You're so
I just
emotional.
Took a shot. I just love her.
Take more shots. Get rid of the baby.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my
I'm kidding.
God.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But we are not ready for a baby right now.
Definitely not. I'm way too young for that.
And I'm also way too young for that.
Yeah, you are. We're both way too young for that.
For this podcast, we were trying to brainstorm some topics, but we couldn't really think of anything. And also, we said that we were gonna watch a movie and talk about the movie and go into more depth about it. But Rylee brought up a good idea.
Yeah, I want to know what you guys think about this idea.
About the movie thing?
Yeah.
Oh, about your idea that I'm about to say.
Yes.
Okay, so Rylee has this idea where basically she does want to get in more in depth and about like movie topics, or basically she wants to spend like close to like an entire episode, or just like spend one entire episode talking about one topic. It doesn't have to be about movies, but it has to be like about one topic. And I was saying that instead of having that as like a part of 10 Talks, where one episode of 10 Talks we just talk about one topic the entire time, we can still continue to do 10 Talks where we just like chill and talk or whatever, but then once a week or once a month or something like that, or once every 2 weeks, we'll actually post a video where we talk about a movie or talk about something where we actually do some research and have
Like a deep
actual
dive.
insights on like the situation and like what the what things about or whatever. So
Yeah.
what do you guys think about that? Like, it won't be like a movie review, it would just be like a second.
Us going really going into a deep dive of the movie, going through like certain scenes, talking about like
But
what
not
we
just
felt about
movies,
that.
not
Yeah,
just
not
movies,
just
anything.
movies, but anything.
Documentaries
Yeah.
or whatever and stuff like
Sort
that.
of different topics, I guess, too.
And I feel bad because a lot of people did DM me random movies we should watch, and I told everyone, I was like, okay, we're gonna check out that movie, but we haven't even watched the one movie
We've been
yet.
busy though.
We've
The
been
holidays
busy.
just finally ended.
And also
So now we're like, we have more free time.
I'm willing to at like 10 p.m. when we're finished with everything, 10 11 p.m. when we're finished with everything, be like, hey babe, let's go watch a movie, but you're like, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep, and then boom, you go to sleep.
I'm just
I like to stay up
an
late.
early sleeper.
Yeah,
I like to go to bed early so I can wake up early.
I like to stay up late. I've always stayed up
And you like to
super
sleep
late.
in, so
Yeah, unfortunately that's
you
the case.
like sleep. I get up at 7 and then you sleep until like 12. So like I already have. I can't do the math in my head right now, but those many hours.
Yeah, my at least my sleeping schedule is pretty bad, but like I recently started talking to actually Alan again. I think I saw it was because he was like telling me we were trying to link up or whatever, and I'd be hitting him up to go skate, and I'd be hitting him up like at 2 or 3 p.m. and he would reply to me like at 4 or 5 p.m. saying, hey, just woke up. And I'm like, what the fuck? What time did you go to sleep? Like, what the hell? And that usually, that low-key used to be me, though. But it's so depressing to wake up at 3 p.m. after 12. It's honestly gets depressing, especially when it's like this and the sun sets, like, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
To wake up at 5 p.m., you're basically like, oh, I should just go back to sleep right now or something like that. It's already dark. What does Ethan say?
Dead air.
Oh yeah, dead air. I feel like you should tell the audience your experience, because I'm not sure how many people. Oh, actually, after I posted the picture of the Russian salad on my Instagram,
You got a lot of.
I realized how many people fuck with Russian food and how many Russian people I have in my Instagram. But
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people don't really understand too much about Russian culture or haven't really experienced much of it. What did you feel basically for this New Year's or for Christmas? I went up to the Bay to hang out with Riley's family, because Christmas is like more important to like American families and like just more American families or whatever. But New Year's is more important to like Russians and like Europeans or whatever. So Rylee came to my parents' house to spend New Year's with me and my parents. So what'd you think about that?
It was so nice. I mean, I feel like you guys have been doing like the same kind of tradition for like ever, right? Since you've lived there, like, cause his mom was showing me old photos and it was like the same exact setup in the same living room, like super cute. Like the table looked so nice, like with all the colors, cause
Table's always laid out
Russian
super
people like a lot of what are they? Beets?
Yeah, beets.
Yeah,
So,
so there's
table's
like
really
a lot
colorful.
of purple. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just very colorful and
Russian people do love beets.
yeah, I'm trying to
That's
think.
what's in borscht. Borscht is a beet soup.
Yeah, it's so bomb too. Yeah, so
I haven't really, you know what's funny? I haven't really like eaten beets in any situation other than having it in Russian food. Like people don't really introduce beets into their food. I honestly don't even know what a beet tastes like.
Me either.
Like-
That was like the first time I really ate beets. But they don't taste like I don't know.
Because they make borscht, but borscht is like a soup and it has like other stuff in it. And then they also use beets for the salads, but the salads have like fish in it and other stuff. So it's like you never really taste just beets. So I don't know. I really don't know what beet tastes like.
Speaking of fish, that's a lot of Russian dishes have fish in them, and I am not a fish person
at all.
So his family was very disappointed that I didn't want.
Mostly my neighbor.
I know, mostly his neighbor, that I didn't want to eat the fish.
So for my for the New Year's, it was basically my mom, my dad, me, Rylee, and my neighbor, who's been living in the same building for 25 years as my parents or whatever. So I've known her my whole life. She's known me my whole life. She's known my parents for like 25 years or whatever, and they're just super close. And the whole time she was just like, try my fish. And you know what?
She wanted me to try everything.
No, because she made that fish. I felt so bad because there was like a whole table laid out of all this stuff. And like there's certain things I avoid on the table. So I'll eat like a couple things and Rylee avoids even more things. So she only ate like 2 things, which is the chicken and the potatoes and the carrot like salad or whatever. But that lady,
I had something else. I had mushrooms.
Oh yeah, and the mushroom thing. But that lady, she brought hella food. Tatiana, she brought hella food. We didn't eat any of her food, and she was bummed at the end. She's like, "You guys didn't try my salad."
Aww.
Like, I spent so much time making it, and we took it home with us. I still haven't tried it.
I don't. Okay, there's 2 things I really do not do, and that is fish, one. And mayonnaise and salads. Like, I don't like potato salad. I don't like macaroni salad. I don't like any of that stuff.
All those salads have mayo in it?
Yes, I think so. Or like, sorry, like I can't do like thick, creamy vegetables with that kind of.
The thing is, that salad's not creamy. Once you bite into it, you realize like, like this, like this is fire. I really like that salad.
But Yuriy thinks it's just me like hating on Russian food, which is not the case. There's so many like. Time. Japanese foods I don't like, Chinese foods I don't like, Mexican foods I don't like. But everybody's picky in their own ways.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about the differences between a Russian dinner and a American dinner though is like on an American dinner there's gonna be like many main courses. You know what I mean? Like where there'll be like there was like the spaghetti with the pig's feet. There was the clams. There was the crabs. There was like all these things on your table. But on Russian dinner tables, it's usually just like a bunch of salads and like one main thing. You know what I mean? But it's mostly about all the salad dishes or whatever. And unfortunately, you don't like a lot of them. I don't know. I like them. We should do another Russian foods video where we try all the Russian foods.
You want me to try all this shit?
Even the stuff I haven't tried. I haven't tried holodets, which is the chicken jello that I made a video about where Camgo and House Phone tried it. I haven't tried that ever in my life. So I'll try the chicken jello. The beet salad that has the fish in it. I've never tried that. Dude, there's a bunch of gnarly stuff.
I can't. I'm scared that I won't be able to stomach it.
And throw up in front of my mom and go,
oh my god, I do not want to do that. Everything your mom has made me, though, has been delicious, and I do not lie about that. It's been very bomb.
And
so I know she knows how to cook, but a lot of the stuff has fish in it.
Yeah,
and I just don't like fish.
But you like to eat healthy, and fish is fucking
I know,
healthy
and I always say I wish I liked fish because I would probably be a lot skinnier.
Less skinnier or a lot skinnier?
I'd probably be a lot skinnier.
A lot skinnier.
Because I could just eat fish all the time.
You know what I just realized is we're not going to be checking if this stream is still going good because we're not going to be really reading the chat or not.
Should we do a quick glance?
Yeah, do a quick glance because I never pressed record and I'm kind of just counting on the fact that the stream is going well. But I have a feeling that's going well.
We could just edit this out.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. I tried to edit out the other stuff last time and it's so hard to edit out tiny little bits and pieces. It gets kind of weird on the YouTube editing program. But you know what's something I'm really excited about is someone Rylee got to meet over FaceTime when you came to my parents' house.
Yes, and I was so excited to meet him too.
This is something I tell like a lot of people that I meet or whatever. When I tell them like, oh, my name is Yuriy, a lot of people will be like, oh, I've never heard the name Yuriy before or something like that. Like a lot of people are intrigued with my name or they just think it's different. And I'll tell them like, oh yeah, like I was named after my uncle who's well, is he my uncle? He's my mom's sister's husband.
Yeah.
That's my uncle?
I guess, yeah. So uncle by marriage.
Uncle by marriage. And basically my uncle, that's funny, we're not even blood related. And I was named after him. That's so interesting. But basically,
he just seems like the sweetest person you've ever met.
He's
like
super,
he just
super
seems
nice.
So genuine. Like I felt he was so warm.
He's super, super cool. And basically, I have an uncle named uncle by marriage named Yuriy. It's my mom's sister's husband, Yura, and he was born on May 3rd. And I'm not sure. I wanted to clarify with my parents because I've heard this from my sisters, and I'm not sure exactly how true it is. But I heard that I was born And for like 2 or 3 days, my parents didn't give me a name because they didn't know what to name me.
That's what your mom was saying.
And then like on the second or third day, my aunt was, he was like, hey, like just call him me, like my name or whatever, because he's born on the same day as me or whatever. And my parents were like, okay.
He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, and they just agree and they called me. That's so interesting that my dad decided to do that.
That's what she said. She said that. I think she said that your aunt said, why don't you name him Yuri?
Yeah.
Because he's born on the same day or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she was saying, like, yeah, he's actually a really nice guy. Mm-hmm. And I like that name. So.
And you got to talk to him over FaceTime
a
little bit.
And not only did I get to talk to him, but he played Jingle Bells on the accordion. Yeah. He is crazy on the accordion. Like, I've never seen anybody do that, like, in real life.
Mm-hmm. You know,
it was so cute. He was just like smiling.
Is that an accordion or is it something different? Because he has the little piano set on.
It's an accordion.
It's an accordion with a little piano thing on the side too.
That's what it's called, I think.
That's how they all are.
Let me know, chat.
I don't know how the difference between accordions and stuff like that, but basically he's like, in my village, like accordion is like the main instrument everyone fucking plays, and he's really good at it.
Yeah, he's bomb.
He like taught me a couple songs when I was younger and stuff like that. I completely forgot those songs by now. But you know what's I kind of feel like when I talked to him when we were talking to him over FaceTime, I was kind of like thinking like, damn, I kind of my whole life I've always been super interested in artsy stuff, like into drawing and like all this different. I've always kind of like just like enjoyed the more artistic stuff, and I never really thought about like my inspirations behind her or what like kind of made me be like that. And then when I look at my mom's sister, like she's a fashion designer. I don't think you've seen, but her whole kitchen, she painted her whole kitchen with flowers. Like she's super artistic. And then her husband Yura, the guy I'm named after, he like plays the accordion, and like he built both of their houses, like both of the houses that they've lived in and the new one they live in right now. He built both of them from scratch by himself with his sons. You know what I mean?
And you
like,
said that you have to build your house in Russia, right?
Mm-hmm. I asked my parents. I was like, so how's like the house buying market like go on in my village? I was like, do you just like find a plot of land and like hire a construction company to build it for you or whatever? And my dad was like telling me like, no, like he's like in my village, like in our village, like basically if you're most of the time if you're born there, you like your parents like want you to focus on education, and then you'll get a job in the city or out, do something outwards or whatever. But my dad was saying like back in the day when that wasn't an option, or if you wanted to stay in the village, basically your only option was like to buy a plot of land, which is super fucking cheap, and you build your own house. But there's no plumbing, like there's an outhouse basically, so you don't have to worry about plumbing. Actually you probably do have to worry about plumbing because there's hot water. I don't know, dude. I don't know how it works. I don't know if they have any bathrooms or hot water or any of that. It might be like a way simpler version of like if you saw it, you would think like, oh, this looks like a legit house. But I'm kind of wondering like if it's up to code or even has electricity and like power and stuff like that.
I know. I feel like it's kind of like a free for all, probably.
Whoever
builds it is like.
I kind of want to ask my parents, like, are there like people who stop by the houses and check to see if they're safe to live in?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe check if it's up to code, because my grandma's house, that shit was probably built fucking in 1930 or some shit like that. It has no electricity, has no running water in the inside.
Uses candles?
It's literally we have candles, and then there would be like an oven, and then like the oven is doubles as a heater and also like where you make food. You know what I mean? So like if it's cold, you turn on the oven and it gets the whole house warm. And then if you want to make food, you just throw some shit in the oven as well. But I never really thought about that. Yeah, there's no. If you wanted to wash how do people wash their hands in Russia? What the fuck? In my village, I never even thought. I don't remember washing my hands once when I was out there.
Oh my god. There has to be a way. I feel like there would be a lot more sick people in Russia.
I never even thought about that, but I would use the outhouses. The outhouses don't have toilet paper. The outhouses literally just have a book, and then you just take a book and rip some pages out and wipe your butt and throw it in the fucking thing. And then there's no places to wash your hands after. Dude, that's crazy. I didn't wash my hands for months when I was out there, I think. That's insane.
And you don't take a shower the same. You literally are in a sauna and you get beat with leaves.
Yeah, but honestly, if you...
And go jump in a river? That's what you do, right?
Well, yeah. You don't always have to do it because if your sauna,
that's so insane.
It's called a banya. It's kind of like a
guys. You need to YouTube this. Like, pause it and YouTube.
No, YouTube after the stream.
Yeah, after the stream.
But there's a thing called the banya. So, like I said, there's no running water or anything. So you have an outhouse where you go poop and stuff, and then you also build like a secondary, like just like a just like a house or whatever. It's just kind of like all it has is like one room and then like a little front entrance thing where you can leave your shoes, have a table to sit down, have some drinks or whatever. But it's mainly just like a little like sauna type situation, and everyone has to build their house, build themselves that sauna thing, and if you're lucky enough to live close enough to the river, you'll do the sauna and jump in the river. But mostly what people will do is like they'll have a giant like
bucket,
like 5-gallon, 10-gallon bucket that's filled with ice cold water, and they'll just take a ladle, like a huge soup ladle, and just pour the water over themselves.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember we had to do that.
That's crazy.
But I'm telling you right now, if you like whenever we go to Russia, hopefully we will do that sometime soon.
I know.
If you did the banya, you'd be like, wow, like your skin feels so replenished, and you're just like, oh my god. But I do remember when I was a kid, the first couple of times doing it, it was so painful.
It looks aggressive as fuck.
I didn't like it. I was like, dude, this shit hurts. Like, just give me some shampoo and body wash.
I would like start crying. I'd be like, oh.
But it does feel fucking fire.
But his neighbor that came to the New Year's dinner was from Siberia, and she was saying how
I did not know she was from Siberia.
I know. I was like, damn, that's crazy. She was saying that it was negative 37 degrees Celsius over there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm freezing in the house, and it's like 50 degrees.
And then she said that like in her village or the city she lived in, Siberia, like on New Year's it was like minus 30 something Celsius, which means it was like minus probably 60 or 50 something in Fahrenheit. And she's like, yeah, people are still going to school, people are still working, people still get on the bus, they just put on their sweaters, put on their gloves, and they just like walk and do their thing or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, how do you keep the like roads clear all day? She's like, people are just cleaning them all day long.
My dad told me that people, even in my village, there would be like a snow plow dude that would drive on the main like little dirt roads to get the snow off, but your house is like maybe half a mile, quarter of a mile off the main road, so like all that distance is all covered in snow. So like my dad would say that he would open the door to go to school in the morning, and there'd be like a fucking wall of snow that's taller than him, and he would have to shovel his way to the main road and then get to the main road and then walk to school.
That's fucking crazy.
Bruh, imagine sending our kids like into like some snowstorm to go to school and be like, hey, good luck, hopefully you'll come back later.
My stepmom is from Michigan, or she's not from Michigan, but her family lives in Michigan.
And it gets cold as fuck out there
and
too.
I remember one time I was like, I was complaining about being cold or something, and it was like
in
not cold at all. Yeah, and not in the bay, but I think we were out there. And her like grandma was like, honey, you don't know nothing about being cold. Like I used to like be knee deep in snow, and I would have to walk to school. And I was like, God. Damn, I'm sorry.
That's fucking gnarly. I remember asking my dad, because I know that in like Michigan, if it gets like a certain temperature, they'll be like, it's too cold to go to school, stay home or whatever. And I asked my dad, like, what's the rule in Russia or in my village, like what's how cold it is until you can say like, oh, you don't have to go to school today. And he was saying it was like in the minus 30s. It can be 0 degrees Celsius, and you still have to go to school.
That's what she was saying too. She was your neighbor, she was saying that you'd still have to go to school no matter what.
Dude, fuck that shit. I can't imagine. And yeah, dude, and honestly, like I've heard that one of the, not popular, but one of the most like common ways people will pass away in my village is like they'll get too fucked up, and they'll either they'll get super drunk because in the banya, the sauna type situation, the first room you walk into is like a tiny little hallway where there's sometimes like a little table, a place where you can put your shoes, your clothes, you can grab your towels or whatever. There's like a bunch of those leaves things that you beat your homies with. You can grab all those items, and then there's like a table right there where people will bring salads and like some shot glasses and some vodka, and you'll be chilling there eating some salads, like some bread or whatever, take some shots, and then go in the banya. And it's like a common thing. I don't know how common it is anymore, but my dad told me it happened a lot, where people get too drunk, fall asleep in their banya, pass out, and they'll like roast themselves to death, like and just die. And then another thing is like people will get super drunk in the super snowy conditions, like pass out in the snow from exhaustion, just be like, oh, I'm gonna take a break real quick or whatever, and then just fall asleep and die because it gets so cold.
That's so sad. That's really scary.
But it's like, what else can you do out there other than drink? Like during quarantine, like what did we do? We just chilled, smoked, and drank. Like, but imagine every year you had like a 4-month quarantine where it's just so snowy and cold where you can't do anything outside. You're just like, oh fuck.
Yeah. That's just dangerous.
And there's no electricity in the house either. Never even thought about that. Yeah, there's no TV. Was there too? I don't even remember.
That sounds like it would be common as fuck out there.
Passing away like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. You know what else is also crazy? I'm not sure how true this is, but basically in Russia, I told you the reason why I can't go back to Russia right now is because I was born there and I have dual citizenship. I have American citizenship and Russian citizenship. And since I was born in Russia and I still have the Russian citizenship, if you're a Russian like male above the age of 18, you have to serve a year or two in the army. Like it's mandatory. And so like there's a
so we can't visit.
There's a possibility that if I go visit right now. Oh, but guess what? I was watching one of those No Fuckers videos the other day. No Fuckers is a YouTuber, Russian YouTuber who lives in Chelyabinsk, Russia. He said that the age is 27. So this year I can go back to Russia. It's not 30, it's 27.
My gosh, I said, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, is it meant to be? Are we gonna go to Russia this year?
And basically, so if you're below the age of 27, above the age of 18, you have to serve a year or two in Russia. And I couldn't visit for a long time because there was a possibility that they wouldn't let me go back to America. They'd be like, oh, you have to serve your year or two in Russia, and you can't just be like, I don't want my citizenship anymore. Like last minute, you can't just like revoke it last second like that or whatever. So there was that's why I couldn't go back to Russia for a long time. But yeah, so this year in 2021. May 3rd, when I turn 27, we can technically go back to Russia.
Dude, that'll be legendary.
Oh my god, it would be so weird. It would be so weird because I haven't been there in years. It almost feels like a dream I had when I was a kid, you know? Because it's just been so long. That'll be crazy.
Yeah, we have to go to Russia, and then we have to go to like where my family's from, Mexico, one day.
I'm scared of going to Mexico.
Why? I know, they're like places probably kind of scary.
Like when you hear of Russia, the worst things I hear of Russia is the cops will finesse some money out of you. They'll put like if you're driving a nice car and you look young and you look like you have some money and stuff like that, they'll pull you over and be like, hey,
yeah,
they'll make
pay.
They'll make a dumb reason. They'll be like, hey, for this reason you owe us 2,000 rubles. If you don't pay the 2,000 rubles, you're gonna get arrested. And you're just like, most of the time you're just like, okay, here's the 2,000 rubles and you can get on your way or whatever. And so like cops are known to do that a lot in Russia, and that's like the worst thing that'll happen. And then if you say no to that, they'll like beat you up or something like that.
I know, that's so scary.
But I've heard of people getting stolen in Mexico, I've heard of the stuff I've heard that happens in Mexico. I have not heard happening in Russia.
Mexico's sketch as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of scared to go over there.
Dude, my brother Roman has such a crazy Mexico story.
What?
That I want him to tell you. Maybe we could have him on the podcast.
Did he get kidnapped?
No, but
it's a drug story. Damn. You know what's crazy? I forgot. There's some dude on my Instagram who always sends me like random. I think I showed you.
It wasn't his fault at all.
Oh really?
Yeah, it wasn't at all.
There's this I think I showed you.
It was with the people he was with.
Were they looking for drugs or whatever?
I'll tell you off.
Okay. But basically, remember the Instagram I showed you? There's some dude who always sends me random memes on my Instagram. He's always sending me like a bunch of memes, just all the time, just random stuff that I don't even know what the memes are about. This same dude would send me YouTube videos of this guy that I used to watch. It's basically this dude who used to be in a Mexican cartel, and he got out of it, and he started a YouTube channel where he covers his face and he tells cartel stories, but he still lives in Mexico, and it's fucking crazy. I forgot the name of his YouTube channel. Maybe someone knows it, but he doesn't have a lot of subscribers. He has like 20K subscribers. He's like a small YouTuber, but he has crazy cartel stories. And he basically says that I watched a couple of his videos where he says like, if you're just going to Mexico like trying to have a good time and you're not looking for weed, not looking for coke, not looking for anything, you're just trying to go there, see the sights, have a couple drinks, get on your plane, go back. He's like, you're not gonna run into issues. He's like, the main people who run into like weird situations is the people who are going there looking for drugs, and then you're gonna run into sketchy ass fools who are gonna like, you never know who you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Like, and it gets crazy.
100%. But the sex trafficking rate out there is insane. Dude. San Diego is crazy because there's so many people who get kidnapped in San Diego because it's so close to Mexico. And when I was working at the salon in San Diego, I had a client who was Border Patrol, who worked for Border Patrol.
Oh my God.
And she said over 200 girls went missing in 1 month.
Jesus Christ.
From San Diego.
Dude,
Just one fucking city. That's
the
crazy.
the the city my sister's living in Texas called El Paso or whatever. They live in El Paso, Texas, and El Paso, Texas is right on the border with Juarez, Mexico, which is like the most dangerous part of Mexico. And I remember my sisters was telling me the same thing. They were telling me some of the abduction rates out there, and it's crazy. Like girls go missing every day in that city, and not just that city. Since it's close to the border, it'll like go out into El Paso too, where people will disappear from El Paso into fucking Juarez.
Dude, there is this like crazy ass story you probably know of, like this girl named JC Dugard.
No.
Who was kidnapped from Lake Tahoe, and she was like kidnapped for 18 years. Like she finally like freed herself after 18 years, and she was in Antioch the whole time.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yes, it was like a crazy story.
What's this have to do with the cartels though?
I'm just like going back to kidnapping, but I'm just saying that it was like traced back to like one of my basically my hometown.
Antioch.
Yeah,
and honestly,
and when like his what are those fucking photos called? These ones? Mugshot. I don't know. I couldn't think of it. When his mugshots were like on the TV, my mom was like, "Oh my god, like he was in my store all the time."
Bruh.
Yes, and she's like, "I always got weird vibes from him."
Can I just say that every time I've been to your mom's area and any area I've been to, I've never seen any of the neighbors, and it always seems.
It is kind of scary, huh?
And it always like you remember how like you said that you didn't really notice it until you lived in LA for a little bit, but all like here in LA, it's all city blocks. There's houses, there's cars all the time. It just feels busy. But out there, it's like there'll be like a mile of just like dirt road, and like there's like a farm to your left, farm to your right.
There's more people.
And there's nothing.
There's more people there though than you think. Like.
But it seems like you have.
It is a smaller city, but it's not that.
It feels like you have way more space to get away with some like kidnapping type stuff. Cause some of the properties I look into, I see horses, cows, and I'll see like a barn, and you just assume in your head like, that barn's probably like filled with horse and cow stuff, but. Could be some person chained to the fucking wall who's just like screaming like help, and they're so far away that you can't even hear them.
Isn't
like
that fucked up? Yeah, he had like a backyard, and then he had like another attachment where he just kept hella tents, and that's where he kept her. And he was like on house arrest, so like police officers came by all the time to check his place out, and they never found her for 18 years.
So why didn't he kill her? Was she just like a sex doll or something?
Yeah,
like that?
He like fucking had 2 kids with her.
Oh,
she was like,
God.
Yeah, she was fucked up. It was so sad.
Bruh.
We need to watch stuff about it because it's crazy.
What do you do with those like? Do you still love those kids?
She said he like raped her every night.
Well, yeah. Anytime they would have sex, it'd be rape.
Every night.
Dude, Jesus Christ, bro. Wait.
And she would be in a tent outside all day.
Would you still love those kids?
She does.
That's crazy. You get put in such a weird position where
she said she had the Stockholme syndrome. I think that's what it's called.
Stockholm syndrome is when like I think
when you get like attached to your abductor.
Yeah, exactly. Where like your abductor abuses you to such a point where like remember when we were watching Game of Thrones and who's that Irish looking dude who like they cut his penis off? Remember he got
my god, yes.
Fuck, what was
Sam.
His name was Sam?
Right?
I don't remember, but the dude with the orange hair
Sam.
who got his penis cut off, and he was like he was that dude's like slave for a while. I remember he had the same.
No, it's not Sam. I don't remember.
He had the same thing where his sister came to save him, and he was like, "No, get out of here!" Like I'm with him, like blah blah. Like that's the same thing where you just get so attached, and
yep,
that's crazy.
I know. It's hella sad.
After 18 freaking years.
Yeah, and they like went. I think they went to like a library in Berkeley. And they were like, the guy who abducted her, like, was trying to spread word about Jesus and stuff. And, like, brought her and the 2 kids, too. And these 2 police officers, like, got a weird vibe and, like, pulled them aside and, like, asked them questions. And she was like, I'm JC Dugard. Like, I was kidnapped, blah, blah, blah.
Dang.
Yeah. Just because they got a sketchy feeling.
Bruh. After 18 years. Imagine she's like, actually... I want to go back. Like, I don't know anything else. Bro,
I know.
That's such a long point.
That's your whole life.
Yeah.
She was like 11, I think, or something like that. She was Jordy's age.
Damn.
I know.
So she's being raped her whole childhood and then adulthood.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. And then had these 2 kids.
And he had a wife.
You know what's something I tried to. Did she know about it? The wife?
Yeah,
She had to have known
course.
about it. I brought this up to you a long time ago. I think when we were still living in Chinatown. But there's like a similar story. I forgot the dude's name, but there's a dude who like lived in the valley in LA somewhere. It's like somewhere super close, like not that far away, and I forgot what the situation was, but basically cops finally like they got like a tip that this dude was not only imprisoning like his wife or whatever, but he made his wife like have like 7 or 8 kids, and he was like torturing all 7 and 8 of his kids. Like they were just like prisoners that they would be chained up, and like no one could see them. Like it was like a super fucked up situation where he had like his wife and like 7, 8 kids who were all just like his prisoners.
I think I heard about this. I didn't know it was in LA.
It was, I forgot the dude's name, but cops came to, it was in the 80s or 70s. Cops came to his house and they were like, yo, like we're outside your house, come outside, blah blah. And then he came outside, and then he's like, okay, he's like, I'll surrender. He's like, let me just go say goodbye. And then he goes back inside and then kills everyone. And he had like 2
Charles Manson?
No, it wasn't Charles Manson. He had like 3 kids that were like 3 years old, 2 years old, 1 year, like babies. And then he had like a 14-year-old, a 17-year-old. They were all like different ages, and he killed all of them. And then like he came, and I think he's still in jail to this day, or he died in jail. But he didn't kill himself. He killed all of his kids and his family.
Dude.
Isn't that gnarly?
I do not understand how people can hurt kids and animals. Like those are the 2 things I do not understand. And I can't stomach.
That's
Makes
fucking
me
gnarly.
So sad.
And dude, it's so gnarly. And then like when you hear situations like that, you're like, fuck, dude. Just every day when you think is a normal day for you is like some torturous ass day for someone, you know, for someone else. There's so many people on earth, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's what you gotta think when you're feeling like you're having a shitty day.
How do we get from talking about the New Year's to this? You're supposed to give your perspective on a Russian New Year's. Now we're talking about abduction victims.
The Russian New Year's was dope. It really reminded me of Mexican Christmas Eve.
Really?
Pretty much, because at midnight we like
open the presents,
celebrate, like drink, say Merry Christmas, and then open presents. And that was pretty much what we did. And we got his parents really cool gifts, and they were very excited. So it was nice to see like the reaction and stuff. I love his parents. They're like the sweetest people. So.
Oh, thanks. Love your parents too, and your whole family.
It was so fun. And his mom was like getting turnt with me. She was drinking.
You guys were
Hennessy,
taking so many shots.
I was drinking tequila.
It was so unfair. They just look at me. My mom was like, "Yuri, you're the designated driver," and then like they just start drinking with Rylee. I was like, well, I wanted to drink too. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. I just drank some seltzers.
And before I left, his neighbor was like, "Wait, you forgot something," and she like pointed to my shot.
Shot glass.
And I was like,
Jesus
"Oh
Christ.
shoot, a shot before I leave," and she was like. Like nodding at me. I loved her. She was amazing.
No, yeah, she's super cool.
She's so cute. Like she looks like so beautiful.
Apparently, my sisters told me that like
back then she was like
no,
the bomb.
even now like
she looks like bomb.
Her thing is like younger dudes where she'll like keep getting like young boyfriends and like go through that. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about her. But this is what I heard. I don't know if this is true or not though. But fuck it.
What we're saying is she's gorgeous.
You were saying that.
Yes.
If I said that, you'd be mad at me.
No. She is. She's a beautiful lady.
I was gonna transition into something, but I completely forgot what it was.
Should I check to see if we're still good?
Oh yeah, can you check it to see if we're still live? But yeah, the New Year's was super chill and super fun. Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna say is, I've brought this up to Rylee before.
LMAO, Yuri was DD.
What's that? Oh, designated driver. I know, dude. What the fuck? Okay, so I brought this up to Rylee before, but. Back in the day,
signing up for the army.
Wait, what? I'm not signing up for the army.
Everybody's so funny.
What the fuck was I gonna say? I keep forgetting. You keep cutting me off.
Sorry.
What was it? What was I just saying a second ago? God damn it. Fucking. Oh yeah. So basically, I brought this up to Rylee before, where back in the day when I first. For a long time in my life, I avoided the fuck out of computers because I hated computers. They frustrated me. I didn't know anything about them. And I always, like, my mom would ask me to do something on a computer. I'd be like, I don't know anything about computers. Like, I don't like it or whatever. And even in school, I had a chance to take a computer class. Like, I told you about that situation. I got kicked out of it. My computer teacher hated me. Like, every situation I had with computers just sucked. So I was not into them. And then maybe 3-4 years ago, like I've already talked about this whole situation where I broke my leg, got super inspired to start a YouTube channel, and then I started learning about computers, and I spent literally like maybe like a year and a half, 2 years, just like even to this day, like I'm up super late, but for other reasons, like for Zelda and stuff like that. But for a long time, I was up every night, like super late into the night, like learning about computers, learning about editing, just like learning all the shit that I can about production and how to make YouTube videos and like how all this whole thing works, and then how you can assemble your own PC, how you can like just like everything you can learn about computers. I was like learning for a while, and I remember so many nights my dad would come in and he'd be like, dude, you're still up, it's 3 a.m, like go to sleep, like get ready for work, blah blah. And he would always be telling me like, don't like this is a waste of time, like put it on the back burner, don't worry about it, because it's just it's like dumb, or he didn't understand like the possibilities in it. And then flash forward now, like basically my whole life is like surrounds around YouTube. Like I work for a YouTube channel.
Manifested it.
Like in a way, like I worked for it as well. But
you see?
my dad, like maybe like a month or two ago, hit me up and he's like, hey Yuri, like I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel where he likes to go fishing a lot, and he wants to make a fishing YouTube channel where he basically is gonna like make vlogs about him fishing. And Rylee and I just thought that was super funny, like how the world has like revolved to this point where first my dad's giving me shit about YouTube videos, and then boom, my dad's wants to start a YouTube channel of his own. But basically Rylee and I and my mom, we got my dad a GoPro Hero 7 so he can start.
He was so excited, guys.
Yeah,
it was the
so
cutest reaction ever. He was like, oh my gosh,
no way,
I love it. thank you. It was so cute.
In Russian at first he was like, don't tell me it's true. He's like, you guys didn't do this, no way.
I love
He's
it.
like, and then he turned to my my neighbor, or the lady Tatiana they were talking about. He like told her, he's like I wanted to buy this for myself or whatever. He was so hyped about it.
It was so cute.
But dude, to be honest, like the way
and we got his mom some cute ass clothes too.
You got her some, well, you chose it all out,
and
but
a gift card.
I do not know how to
so she could pick something nice out for herself.
I do not know how to choose clothes.
You approved them though.
Yeah, I approved them. I thought they looked nice, and I was like, okay, my mom would,
My
like,
mom
this.
would like this.
I know how my mom
Yeah.
like what style she likes.
So.
She doesn't like super crazy crazy colors. She likes kind of like the stuff I like,
Neutrals.
neutral type colors or whatever. But
yeah, it was so fun. It was a good New Year's, and Yuri has a cool ass rooftop view, so we showed up there.
I wonder if you guys have watched my vlogs, you probably have seen like on my parents' roof. You can basically go up there and just chill and smoke or whatever. I think I have filmed some videos up there before. I think I've started live streams up there before, and I walked down to my apartment. I don't even remember, but basically, yeah, we have a chill roof where we can go chill and smoke, and we're just chilling up there and smoking after the dinner.
It was amazing.
That you barely ate.
I ate. He's lying.
So you like the Russian New Year's? It was pretty chill, right?
I loved it.
Super calm, super chill. But
can't go wrong. We drank, we laughed, we ate, we watched the performances.
Bro, you know what's one thing that we noticed while we were at my parents' house? We were watching a lot of Russian news and Russian performances for New Year's or whatever. And my parents would be switching between the Russian TV and like American TV. And like for all the American performances, there'd be like everyone's wearing masks, everyone's being super careful about COVID, and then like on the Russian TV, no one's wearing masks. There's tons of people on the stage. Like I'm
just kidding.
They do kind of care, because they
regulated it.
Yeah, but the only thing they got rid of is the audience. It's like, other than that, everything.
They probably
was
COVID
the same.
test and stuff.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, do you think they're COVID testing?
I think so.
But Russia, I'm not sure if you remember, but Phil DeFranco was reporting about it. But Russia apparently came out with a vaccine for COVID already.
Oh.
Before of it's a different vaccine though. It's not the same vaccine.
Oh.
It's a different vaccine, and apparently they said they already figured it out and got a vaccine like approved or something like that. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I think it's a different vaccine than the American vaccine.
Is some shit about to happen?
I don't know. Hopefully no zombies. But Russia's far away, so we don't have to worry about that.
True.
But speaking of vaccines, my mom is gonna.
Speaking of vaccinations,
my mom's gonna get the COVID vaccine.
I know, she's a brave one.
And at first,
but I'm not scared for her.
Yeah, I'm not scared. I think it's a good
okay.
thing she's gonna do it. And at first, she was saying that through her job, I could potentially get the vaccine too. But because she was explaining to me how this vaccine, even though it's approved, it's still like in this beginning trial run, where if you're predisposed or like you usually have like some random allergic attacks or whatever. If you have any type of allergies, they don't give you the vaccine. The vaccine is only given for people who are like don't have like any allergies and are a little bit like on the healthier side or whatever. You know, they're not gonna give it to some person who's like gets all weird about all types of different stuff. And my mom was basically explaining to me that that's me. She's like, I didn't even know I had any allergies at all. But she's like, she's like, you can't take the vaccine. She's like, they told me that like people with allergies can't do it, and you have hella allergies. And I was like, I do. She's like, yeah. She's like, she was like,
he has so many allergies. I was like, what are his allergies?
I didn't know I had
tell
any.
Me.
But I think we talked about this on the last podcast or last 10 talks, but I have broken out in like a bunch of rashes on like the sides of my, like on all of my ribs, going down my whole side right here and right here as well, and it's kind of spreading to my legs now too. So for the past like month and a half, I have been kind of suffering from like an ongoing allergic attack that I don't even know what it is, and I haven't even gone to the doctor for it yet either.
Yeah, it's been happening for months.
But the thing is, when I was in middle school, I had the same thing happen to me.
Well, it's obviously an allergic reaction.
It is, but I don't know what it is. Like, I've had the same thing happen to me before in middle school. Oh my god, I have to tell you this story. So, you've seen the scars and stuff like that happening on my body, right? This is the first time it's happening to my ribs. Like, this has happened to me before, but it started happening on my like on the sides of my arms right here, and then also like on like the bottoms of my legs, and it wasn't going on my face, but it was basically like it was super crazy around my arms. And like I remember like almost every night I would go to sleep like scratching the fuck out of my arms, and then I got to a point where this whole part was like all scabbed up with like a bunch of scratches, like an open wounds, because I just kept scratching myself because I was so itchy. And I was in 7th grade or 8th. I think I was in 8th grade at the time. I was in middle school, and I had this like art teacher called Mrs. Golden. I remember one day I was like in fucking class, just minding my own business, like working or whatever. And then Miss Golden comes over to me. She taps me on the shoulder. She's like, Yuri, come with me to the hallway. And I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, what'd I do this time? Because I'd always get in trouble for random shit. And I was like, oh my god, what'd I do this time? She takes me to the hallway. She's like, Yuri, she's like, I have to talk to you. She's like, are you hurting yourself? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, every day I notice your arms are getting worse and worse. You have all these like these cut marks and scabs on your wrists. She's like, it looks like you're hurting yourself. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no, it's not. I was like, I'm not hurting myself. I'm like, it's allergic reaction where I get super itchy. And she's like, why isn't it happening to your face then? She's like, it's so weird. She thought I was like covering up for the fact that I was like hurting myself or whatever. And she sent me to the office to talk to the principal because she thought I was cutting myself. And I was like telling everyone, I was like, no. I was like, it's an allergic reaction. And that day my dad had to pick me up from school and take me to the hospital so I can get tested for this shit, because they wouldn't let me go back to school until I went to the hospital because they wouldn't believe me.
Wow.
So my dad took me to like some
that's cool that your like school did that though.
You think so?
Yeah.
I found it super actually I thought it was really cool because I was like, yes, I get to go home. I was like fire on to stay in school.
And
but
it's like,
it was kind of annoying.
At least they're looking out.
Yeah,
just in
true.
case, you know.
But my dad took me to some what's it called, a skin specialist, a dermatologist, or is that face? I don't know. Skin. He took me to some skin dude. The skin guy ran a bunch of tests on me, and he basically told me, he's like, I don't know what it is. He's like, nothing's coming back. He's like, what about your diet? Like, what have you been eating? And I just told him, I was like, I think it might be from sugar because I eat hella sugar. Like I eat like hella candy and stuff. And he's like, yeah, that might be it. He's like, maybe just try to cut back on your sugar. And that's all. Did? And that not really.
Did it ever go away?
Yeah, it eventually started going away.
I feel like you need to cut back on your sugar.
Before
we both
after that doctor's visit, what's funny is like my teacher Ms. Golden is like, why isn't it spreading to your face? Like after that doctor's visit, it started spreading to my ears, and my ears started getting all scabby.
You bet you jinxed it.
I know, dude. But my ears started getting all crazy and scabby, and then like eventually I think I did like cut back on my sugar for a while, but it eventually went away. But now it's starting again, I think. And it honestly, it's been there for a long time. You should really try to see what it is. You know what I think? You should just get an allergy test. You know what that is though, right?
Draw blood.
They have to draw blood like 50 times.
I know. I almost passed out.
Hell no, dude. Bro, sucks. You remember that one time I had to go get my blood drawn?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. They couldn't find the vein the first time.
Not only did the lady not find the vein the first time, but I woke up after having a night of streaming and drinking, and I woke up super dehydrated and like all this stuff, and I woke up hella late. I rushed over there. It was like super far away. Finally got over there, and then she like tried to draw blood for me, and then whatchamacallit, she's like, did you drink any water or eat anything? And I was like, no. I was like, I literally just woke up and got here. She's like, yeah. She's like, your veins are super small. She's like, you have to eat something and like drink some water, and then she gave me like a banana or something like that, and like I had to eat some food, drink some water, and chill. And then she's like, okay, she's like, if you want, we can either just, you can come back and reschedule, or we can try this again. And I was like, just try it again. I was like, try one more time. And then I think she did it again. Like, it was able to work.
I hate it.
I hate that shit too.
I hate talking about it too.
Oh my god.
In biology class in high school, I was always like queasy because I can't talk about blood and arteries.
Did you ever donate blood in school?
Nope. But I ran the blood drive. Like, that was like my job in school.
Hypocrite.
I never donated.
Come on, guys, do your part. Don't give your
please.
blood. Don't you care about other people?
First of all, I think I was I was too young the first year. The second year,
Excuses.
I just couldn't do it because I'm scared I'm gonna pass out.
Oh my god, you want to hear something funny? This brings me back to an old high school story where I forgot what it was, like in the middle of our period. I think it was like during lunch, and like it was like right before like lunch had just ended, and I was walking to 5th period or something like that. I remember I was walking down the hallway, walking to 5th period. 2 girls are walking past me. One of them has like a cup of noodles, one of them is just walking walking or whatever. And then like the one that doesn't have the cup of noodles, she just like collapses and just falls on the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then her friend's like, oh my god, like Sarah, like I don't know what her name was, but she was just like whatever, like I don't know why I always say Sarah, but let's just say Sasha. She's like, oh my god, Sasha, are you okay? She was like hysterical about her friend. She's like freaking out. And then I was like, oh fuck, and I was it was literally just these 2 girls and me in the hallway, and I'm like, oh fuck, like what's going on, like what do I do? And then like I rushed.
Gave her mouth to mouth.
No, what the hell? I rushed over to like a nearby classroom that I knew. I knocked on the door, and I was like, yo, Mr. Dominguez. I was like, some girl fucking passed out in the hallway, and he's like, what the fuck, like, and he ran out. And then he came to check on the girl. He's like, Yuriy, dial 911 on your phone or whatever, like call 911 or some shit. Oh my god,
she was still passed out.
And she was still passed out. And then like around the same time he said call 911, like a bunch of more people like rushed in to start helping her. And then like Mr. Dominguez wasn't even focused on me anymore. And then I was just like, wait, should I make this phone call or should I not? And I was like, wait, I'm also late to 5th period. I'm gonna just head out. And I just like left. I didn't even call 911 because there was like 20 people there already. I was like at this point I'm not gonna add anything. I was like, wow. I'm out of here. But it was so funny because this whole thing just, oh my god, dude. I was probably faded during that time too.
I cannot believe you just dipped and didn't see if she was okay in the end.
I don't know her. Like, what am I gonna do? Like,
I would at least
are
make
you
sure
okay,
she's okay.
Sasha? Like. But the reason why I brought up this story is later that day I heard that girl who passed out had just donated blood.
Oh.
And she passed out.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Sasha.
But you know what's what's crazy is when I went to go get my blood drawn, and I was talking to that lady, and I told her how crazy she took out like a syringe full of blood, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, that's a lot of blood. She's like, you think this is a lot? She's like, have you ever donated blood? And I was like, no. She's like, well, she's like, when you donate blood, they take a pint of blood. Do you know what a pint of lean looks like? It's like it's like a huge amount. And I was like, when I heard that, I was like, I wanted to faint, dude. I was like, bro. And apparently, in your body, babe, you have like 6 or 7 pints of blood. So they take literally like a fucking good amount. Like, and it takes you like a month to get all that, to replenish all that blood back. Like, that's why you have to wait a while before you donate blood again. But dude, that shit's crazy. I don't think
I have that much blood.
Now you're making me feel like a dickhead. Am I fucked up for leaving? What? She was okay.
I mean, at least she had company. I guess at least Mr. Dominguez was there.
Yeah, there was Mr. Dominguez. There was her best friend with a cup of noodles.
Mr. Dominguez.
And there was like 10 other people there. So like, and also like,
you're like, Mr. Dominguez, we gotta.
Someone's passed. And you know what's funny? Mr. Dominguez fucking hated me. So, but he was just my old first choice. He was the closest guy. I was like, yo, dude. And he probably thought I was bullshitting or fucking with him or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, he hated me.
That's
he was my
funny.
Spanish teacher.
Whoa.
Dude, you know what's funny? In high school, I took Spanish with Mr. Dominguez, failed. And I think it was ninth or 10th grade. Took Spanish again with another teacher. It was like some lady, I forgot her name. Failed again after a whole year, like failed every fucking semester. And then when I was like going to 11th or 12th grade. Oh no, when I was going to 12th grade, my counselor was like, Yuri, like you have to take foreign language. That's like that's a requirement for graduation. And he put me in French. And then I had to take
what the fuck?
no, and then they put me in French in 11th grade. I failed French all of 11th grade, and then they put me back in French in 12th grade. And babe, I was a senior, a 12th grader, in a 9th grade French class. It was so fucking bad. I hated it.
That's when you just kiss ass to the teacher so you can pass by with at least a C-.
No, I was not a kid. Like honestly, a lot of teachers disliked me.
No, you don't have to be kiss ass, but you could be like chill with the teacher.
Maybe I was like a smart ass, but like I would talk back.
How you were. I know the kid you were in the class.
I would talk back a lot, and
I would be bugged. I'd be like, oh my god, you're so
Can we just
annoying.
continue the fucking lesson already?
Really?
I'm like a principal guy. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I got in an argument with one of my French teachers in 11th grade where like I realized that I'm failing the class. There's no point. I can't catch up at this point. My teacher doesn't like me. I don't care. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not even gonna do the work. So I remember one day I was just like chilling there drawing in my notebook because I love to draw, and she came up. She's like, "There's no drawing in my class," and I was like, "Yo, like." You know I'm gonna fail. Like I'm not like, and I don't fuck with this class. Like I'm not gonna do this. Like there's no room for improvement at this point. I was like, I'm just gonna do my own thing and draw. And she would not fucking let me draw. And I remember I got in such a huge argument with her. I was just like, fuck off. Like at this point, she's just being a bitch. Like I was just like, dude, you're just being a dick for no reason. Like just let me do my own thing and fuck up my own life. Like
if I ever acted like that, my parents would beat my ass.
You know what's one thing I was lucky about is my dad was always the strictest parent. Like my mom was always more understanding and more like giving me more like free space, and my dad was always more stricter and like just like the strict parent or whatever. But he never ever went to any parent teacher conferences, never ever stepped foot in any of my schools. I think like he's never like it's always been my mom who comes through, who's always just like, oh okay, he'll do better, it's fine, and like stuff like that. But even though my dad was the strictest,
I'm surprised your mom wasn't like on your ass about
she
it.
kind of was in some ways, but then like I don't know, she's always kind of like giving me the benefit of the doubt where she's like, I know you'll figure something out one day, like hopefully
she
some
does
shit.
Love you.
I miss high school. I have some good high school stories.
Me too.
What was the craziest thing? Like, did you have, like, when I was in high school, ecstasy was like the most popular drug. Everyone was doing ecstasy.
What was the most ecstasy in high school? Like, if you did ecstasy in high school, you were fucking weird.
Really?
Like, the only thing people did in the Bay, or at least in my school, was smoke weed.
What did people do in your high school? Like, did you
smoke weed?
But did you keep up with all the students? Did you know like what everyone was doing, or did you only like you were so focused on your own like friend group though, or no?
No, I was like one of all. Like I hung out with like theater kids. I hung out with like ASB kids. I hung out with
what's ASB?
Like student body.
Oh, okay.
Leadership. I would say leadership.
You know the acronym, but you don't know what it stands for?
Associative Student Body.
Oh, okay. Boom.
Anyway. I would hang out with pretty much anybody. Like, I could talk to anybody, I feel like. Where was I going with this?
I was asking what drugs were being taken in your school.
Oh, yeah. So I would feel like, mostly people did, like, just smoked weed.
But did they smoke weed in school?
Yeah, a lot of people did.
Did you ever smoke weed in school?
No.
Did you ever, like...
I had to be... Like, I was a good kid in high school because my dad was a teacher.
Did you ever have a situation where you were offered weed in school?
Not, like, to smoke it in school.
But to buy?
Yes.
To purchase? Did you ever purchase weed in school?
No.
Never?
Nope.
What the hell? Wait, you didn't...
I was a good kid.
Oh, my God. I was a good kid, too.
The first time I smoked weed was senior year of high school, like, in the beginning of high school. And it was, like, before a party. Me and my two friends were smoking.
On the weekend or something like that.
Yeah, we went to a park and smoked, and then came into the party, eyes hella red, and everybody was like, "You're so high," and I was like, "No, I'm not. I didn't feel high at all."
Why did you decide to smoke weed for the first time?
Because I wasn't a part of my leadership class anymore.
And you were depressed?
No, and because like when you're in leadership, you had like
you to get sign drug tested.
No, you had to sign a contract. That said, like, you won't smoke and drink.
But you're acting like you can't lie.
You could, but I was like, I'm going to, like, stick to it. I signed it, so.
Oh, my God. The smartest kids in leadership would sign that bitch and
I wasn't, like, really
side.
Interested in it, honestly. Like,
my
friends weren't doing it, so.
Did you look down upon your friends who smoked weed?
But then I was like, starting senior year, and I was like, okay, now I have to like start
being cool.
No, like I just want to try things because I like.
Okay, open up. And
yeah,
like, what, yeah,
I like finally drank at a party like during that summer before.
Because you never drank
and
before?
I was like, this is hella fun, like drinking and just chilling with your friends.
Oh god, now you love it too much.
And yeah, so I didn't like smoke weed that much until like I went to beauty school.
Did it feel like a big deal for you, or were you just like, nah, I'm just trying weed? Like it didn't feel like a big deal. Like
no, I didn't care. Like
really?
I just it wasn't that big of a deal.
For me, it was such a fucking like big deal that I was like, I tried weed because for the longest time I was a part of this like skate group called Swiss and Heights, and I was like the youngest dude of the group. Yeah, I was basically the youngest guy of the group, and all my fucking homies, even my fucking homie that I joined the group with, who was my same age, he started smoking as soon as he joined the group. Like everyone was smoking all the time, and for like literally like years, we would go to skate spots. They would all be rolling up blunts, like chilling, smoking, drinking, and I'd just be skating. And it was like for a long time it was just like that. And then it got to a point where I started like shaming them. I was like, you guys are smoking weed, blah blah. Like you guys shouldn't be smoking weed. It's bad for you. You could be way better skaters. You could be pro by now. Like, and I'd be like super against weed and
Me
just like
too.
kind of like looking down on them for doing it. And then after
I used to tell my sister Brittany, I was like, this is disgusting. She would wear my clothes and smoke in them, and I'd be like, my clothes smell like weed. Like, don't ever wear my clothes again.
you get so pissed.
Yeah, it's like, are you fucking serious? Like, really? She would like put weed jars under my bed sometimes.
That's so
I'd be
funny.
like, Fred! And now like we smoke together. No, I don't want that.
Just a joint. It's not a split.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. I sparked George. The joint I
I'm
rolled for
not
you.
doing spliffs anymore.
Yeah,
guys.
Rylee has officially quit spliffs 2021.
So.
You brought the little Tito's bottle out?
Yeah, should we take a shot?
Are you gonna, oh yeah.
Oh
let's
wait, should we end it?
no, let's take a shot. Let's because I want to get into the story that I really want to tell.
Okay.
I feel like it's important.
What story?
A high school story.
Okay.
I have so many of these, and like a lot of them I tell to people like sometimes I can't tell if my high school was like experience was that crazy, because like to me it felt like normal because that was my only high school experience. But sometimes I'll tell stories to like my coworkers or other people, and they'll be like, damn dude, your school is lit, like you went to a crazy ass school. And I was just like, it didn't feel that crazy, but like I was just always put in these situations where like I had to make a decision, like, do I do this or do I do that? And like I don't know, it got pretty crazy after a while. But honestly, like I felt like everyone in my school was experimenting, you know what I mean? Like I knew a couple people who were like, nah, I'm not smoking weed and stuff like that, but I feel like everyone was experimenting at the same time in high school, you know? Like everyone was trying it.
It's like if you did Molly in high school, like people would be like, damn, like
you crackhead.
Ashley popped a Molly, like that, she's fucking crazy.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't when you were in high school, that one song came out, Pop Molly, I'm sweating. Woo.
Yeah, but nobody was really popping Molly.
Really?
Maybe some kids did coke, but I was like never in. I never did it. Yeah, but for the most part, just weed. But you, yeah. Okay, so go on with your story. I want to hear this.
I was basically going to describe my first time smoking weed, which was like for a long time. I already told you this, but for a long time, I was like super against smoking weed. And then for some reason, I got into the same point where I think I was like 16 years old, towards the end of 16 or middle of 16. And I was like feeling like, oh man, I feel like I should try it. I'm feeling more experimental. And then I started realizing that like people in my school who I looked up to, or like even like some girls I knew that would be like, oh yeah, I smoke weed. And I'd be like, damn, maybe I should try smoking weed too. And like I just started like thinking like, okay, fuck it, I'll try it one day. And then my parents ended up going to Vegas for just to hang out for like a weekend, and they left me home alone. And I hit up one of my friends who I skated with, and I was like, yo dude, I think I want to try smoke weed today. He's like, all right, for sure, meet me at David's house or whatever. So we go to David's house. It's me and like 4 of my older homies. I'm the youngest guy there. I'm like 16 or whatever. I might have even been 15, but basically they'll start smoking out of a bong, and then they start passing it to me like, yo, here, your turn, like hit the bong, you know. And I got so scared. I was like, you know what? I was like, no, I don't want to smoke weed. Like, never mind. I changed my mind. And they were like, Yuri, like, we're not gonna let you out of this apartment until you hit that bong. They're like, if you don't want to smoke weed and you're gonna flake out on us, they're like, we're gonna break your board and like beat you up right now, like all of us. And I was just like, and now that I think about back on it, they would not have done that. Like, now I think back, they were just like fucking with me. I was just like the young dude of the group, and like, and they're all my fucking friends. They're probably just fucking with me, but they're just like, yeah, we're gonna break your board and beat you up. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I'll smoke the bong. And I didn't know how to use it, so the dude literally just like filled up the bong for me, passed it to me. He's like, just clear it. And I remember clearing, and like I could not stop coughing for like 20 minutes. For like the whole time, I was just like.
Did you get high your first time though?
I don't remember if I felt high, but I do remember like I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, guys. And I went to the bathroom and I washed my face and like I rinsed my mouth and I looked in the mirror and I saw my eyes were like low and red, and I looked in that mirror and I was like, oh my god. I was like, you fucking drug addict. I was like so ashamed of myself. I was like, I told myself I'd never do this. Like I was so like ashamed of like me smoking weed. And then I remember I came out into the living room and I was so bummed about it. Oh my god. And this leads to this other story I've told you before. So right after that bathroom situation, I leave the bathroom. I forgot about this part, but I leave all bummed or whatever, and that's why I go to the living room. I sit cross-legged on the floor and I just like kind of sit like this.
Oh shit, like, my headphones went out.
Oh, it probably got loose.
Oh, sorry.
Is it better?
I think so.
Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, like, I go to the living room and I sit cross-legged on the floor just like this, just like all bummed out, just like thinking about life and like why I smoked weed and shit. And one of the dudes who was there was this guy called Howard, who's like still my friend to this day. And Howard at the time was just kind of like my bully, and like he came up to me and he was like older than me and way bigger than me, and he's just like with his foot just starts like kicking my back, and he goes like, "What, pussy? Are you faded?
Oh.
What's going on, pussy? You too high or
I thought
whatever?"
he was gonna be nice to you.
No, he was like fucking with me. He was like just like trolling me, like kicking me in the back, just like shoving me. And then like I never ever, he would always like punk me around, and I would never ever do anything. And I don't know what came into me, but I literally just like stood up, turned around, and just went boom, and just like backhanded him with all the might I had in my 16-year-old body. I just went douche, and his fucking glasses flew away, and like he was just like, what the, and he was so shocked. He was like holding his face, and all my friends in the room just broke out into laughter. They were just like, oh my god, Yuri just slapped Howard, and they just started dying fucking laughing.
Jeez. The Hulk came out.
And you want to hear something funny? That dude, that dude Howard, everyone in that group, in that apartment, we all grew up. We all grew up together. I was kind of the new guy of the group, and I've told you about Donat before. Donat told me that he was friends with Howard for a long time, since they were kids, since like they were like little kids or whatever, like since elementary. And he told me, he's like, bro, he's like, dude, the whole time I've known Howard my whole life, which was like 10 years before that day, he's like, dude, he's always been so stupid and so slow, and I never knew like what he would do in his life. And he's like, and now Howard is like a Harvard graduate, and he's like he's like a doctor. He's literally like making hella money because he's like a doctor or some shit. And Beast like told me, he's like, I think you slapped him so hard you made him smart or something like that, because he's like, the whole time I've known him my whole life he's been an idiot, and now he's a fucking doctor.
That is hella funny, dude.
You know what's sick is actually,
dude, I can't believe you bitch slapped
I can't believe bully. I did. I don't even remember like the thought process in my head.
Funny ass stories like that seem like movie scenes. Dude,
sometimes I honestly like would want to recreate some of the situations that happened to me, because it was just so ridiculous. Like, especially
you
like
slapped Howard.
Fucking Howard. He's cool though. I ran into him maybe like before I met, actually no, around like halfway through us talking, whatever, he hit me up, and he has a younger brother, and like I was talking to him, I was like, yo, how have you been, blah blah, and he told me, he was like, yeah, he's like, sometimes me and my brother will be watching your streams, dude, he's like, you're really funny, like I fuck with it. And I was like, what? I was like, no way.
He came around,
because I didn't even know him, I didn't
know him like
that closely for him to be like watching my shit. And I was like, damn, that's sick that he's actually like taking the time to watch my streams and stuff. So I was like, that's fire. Even though I said this was a disgusting chaser.
You're gonna use it?
I'm gonna use it. Do you want some?
No.
You're gonna use the Perrier?
Yeah.
Oh god. Do you have enough?
Wait. So we're like over an hour, I think now. Do you want to keep going?
Let's just take the shot to end the stream.
Okay.
Or end the podcast. I mean, not end the stream. We're gonna still continue the stream. We're gonna get into the questions. We're gonna do this for another 20 minutes and just answer all the donation questions. $3 to ask a question. But I forgot to do this.
That was a good one.
I feel like that was a good one.
That was fun.
I forgot to do this in the beginning of the podcast, but this podcast was studio was sponsored by Josh. Once again, and this is his last sponsorship space. But also, if you guys are trying to sponsor this podcast, we need free weed. That would be so cool.
Free weed.
I keep getting told that like,
or bro, clothes. If you have any cool clothes.
Luch is the #1 guy who's like, bro, like you can easily hit up weed companies and get your podcast sponsored. And I'm like, that seems so unlikely, but if someone's out there watching this and you guys got weed that you'd want to fucking promote to other people, to 1,000 or 2,000 people
we'll promo
a
your
week,
shit.
We'll promo the fuck out of it. We'll smoke swishers.
Cheers.
Oh wait, cheers.
To the 3rd episode.
To episode number tres leches.
Tres leches. Ooh.
You know what I would really want to do
Hmm.
is eventually I would want to have the Discord open while we're doing the ending part of the stream, like answering the questions.
And do like a voice.
And have, or actually no, even
call?
have a voice call, but even have it during the podcast and ask other people their craziest high school stories, and just
Ooh,
try to
yes.
see if people have like other similar crazy stuff that have happened to them that
Babe,
involve.
that's
It
a
doesn't
good
have to
idea.
involve drugs, you know. It could just be like anything crazy that happened in high school that's like legitimately like, whoa, like I can't believe that happened, you know, because I have so many of them.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right,
That's a good ass idea, I think. Okay, I need to go to the bathroom. You can start the chat.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Wait, hold on, before you go. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 3.
Watching.
Leave a like, leave a comment, please subscribe, because every time I check the analytics on this, it says half of the people watching this aren't subscribed. So please drop a sub if you haven't, or you forgot, or
And
something.
a like and a comment.
Yeah.
Let us know what you like or don't like.
Some criticisms for the podcast,
criticisms,
and also some
please.
movies for us
we
to
love
watch.
all criticism.
And movies for us to watch.
And movies for us to watch.
Yes,
too.
because we're gonna watch Pulp Fiction and a bunch of the other ones requests I've got, but we need more.